This is UIN Urban Internet News. National news and information for and about people of color.
Thanks for listening to UIN Urban Internet News. I'm Alexander Caden, along with Erin Mays, Don Watkins, and Inga Davis. Here's some things that are happening in the news. R. Kelly walked out of a Chicago jail after posting a $100,000 bail that will allow him to remain free while awaiting trial on charges that he sexually abused 4 people dating back to 1998. Including 3 underage girls. According to the Associated Press, a woman in Chicago posted Kelly's bail. She identified herself only as a friend of the singer. The Washington Post is reporting that a former black staffer on Donald Trump's presidential campaign says he kissed her without her consent outside a rally in Florida in August of 2016. The allegation is described in a federal lawsuit filed in Florida by Alva Johnson, in which Johnson is seeking unspecified damages for emotional pain and suffering. A Chicago judge says Empire actor Jussie Smollett can travel out of state to meet his lawyers while he's free on bond on charges he falsely reported being attacked. He was released after posting $10,000 in cash. He was also ordered to surrender his passport. Virginia's black Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax compared himself to Jim Crow-era lynching victims in a surprise speech as he resists widespread calls to resign prompted by allegations of sexual assault. Fairfax strongly defended himself and lashed out at his critics while in session as it was coming to a close. Fairfax has been accused by 2 black women of sexual assault. Inga?
A small Alabama newspaper is advocating for the resurgence of America's white supremacist terrorist organization, the Ku Klux Klan. An editorial published by the Democrat Reporter of Linden, Alabama, begins with the line, "Time for the Ku Klux Klan to night ride again." The editorial says Democrats and Democrats in the Republican Party are plotting to raise taxes in Alabama, so the Klan should raid the gated communities where they live. The editor and publisher of the paper, Goodloe Sutton, told the Montgomery Advertiser that he wrote the February 14th opinion piece and stands by it. During an interview, Sutton suggested lynchings as a way to clean up Washington. Sutton also said the KKK didn't kill but a few people. Pathetic.
Okay, I think I better take the news back before you go off. A 14-year-old black girl has been found guilty of murder for the stabbing death of a Texas teenager during a sleepover. We get more from KTVU.
14-year-old Nyla Lightfoot was stabbed to death last May at the attacker's apartment in Fort Worth. The day started with a pool party and dancing with other girls and ended with a sleepover at Lightfoot's apartment. The attacker testified she left the sleepover because there wasn't enough room for her, and her leaving sparked an argument. About 3 in the morning, Lightfoot went to the attacker's apartment. Prosecutors told the jury that Lightfoot's friend, who was 13 at the time, went to the kitchen, got a knife, and stabbed Lightfoot in the neck. On the witness stand, the young attacker said, "I didn't mean to kill her. She ran up on me. It was the worst mistake of my life." But the state presented evidence of profanity-laced text messages exchanged between the two before the stabbing, in which the young attacker threatened to kill Lightfoot.
Both families are devastated. It affects our whole village, so that's where we are today.
Once court adjourned, the victim's family and the attacker's family were escorted separately from the courtroom. A dozen uniformed officers made sure they remained apart. A law enforcement source tells us there was an incident in which a gun was displayed in a threatening manner in the parking lot, and that police were called because of tension between the victims and the killer's family.
A political operative working for a Republican congressional candidate has admitted to election officials that she illegally picked up and falsified absentee ballots as part of a scheme to help a Republican steal a 2018 midterm election in North Carolina. Election officials and witnesses said that the scheme may have involved more than 1,000 absentee ballots or request forms. Quite a few of them, I'm quite sure, were black. Republican operatives were accused of forging signatures, completing ballots, and mailing them from post offices near the voter's home. Now, they gotta have a new election, which I hope happens in Georgia, where Stacey Abrams was robbed of being the governor. Anyway, 4 Antiguan women made history when they became the first all-black team to voluntarily row across the Atlantic Ocean. The four ladies known as the Antigua Island Girls took part in the annual Talisker Whiskey Atlantic Challenge. Yeah, now you know you have to be drinking or smoking something to decide to row across the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm not talking about rowing some of it. No, these four ladies rowed over 3,000 miles. One of them compared it to a pregnancy, saying they had 9 months to prepare, 47 days of labor, and the birth was at the finish line where everyone was waiting for them to complete their baby.
The Force is coming at you. A hearty congratulations to my alma mater, Hampton University. Our marching band will be taking their talents to Rome in 2020. According to Wavy News, the band has been enlisted to perform in the Rome New Year's Parade, making the school the first historically black college or university to do so. The marching force will also perform at St. Peter's Square for the parade. The event is a cumulative celebration of the World Day of Peace and the Pope's blessing for the new year. The band will also have the opportunity to perform for local communities during their time in Italy.
For more news and information for and about people of color, visit our website at UINNat. You've been listening to UIN Urban Internet News. We thank you for listening.